I'm Jonathan.
All right, Jonathan, what's up? Let's see the new Path of Exile launch, baby. This is for PoE 1, by the way. Keeper of the Flames.
Path of Exile, Keepers of the Flame, which is coming out 1 week from now on October the 31st.
1 week? Okay, that's
Quick
fast,
drops
man.
are enabled on today's live stream, so you'll be able to claim your Hive-born crawler pet by following the instructions below.
That looks pretty cool, man.
Without further ado, let's roll the trailer for Path of Exile, Keepers
All
of
right,
the
let's
Flame.
check it out. I'll give you guys my reaction, my thoughts on it.
We, the Keepers of the Flame, serve the will of the dream.
Oh, new monk? Monk class
His
confirmed?
instructions whispered from beyond.
I hope we get some new Ascendancies, though. That's going to be probably the #1 priority.
But now, the Hiveborn are here, on Rayclast, and they seek to poison our world.
That's a new, like, breach boss or something? It looks like a... So it looks like breach. Because it's monsters coming out of a circle, but there's a new, like, zone or something.
We must close their breaches, destroy their hives, slay their breach lords.
Okay, so we have some new bosses. Oh, it looks like there's waves. Okay, so there might be some variety in, like, the content. That's always good.
And by his gifts, the dreamer
Ooh.
provides.
Okay, that's exciting. A brand new, like, I don't know,
They
it's gonna be
brought this
kind of like
war
the
to our
Atlas
world,
skill tree or something like that.
We shall end it.
Some of these zones,
Whatever
like, they're definitely
it
tile
takes.
sets from PoE 2. Like, if you look at the ground, but that's fine. It doesn't bother me as long as we get new content. All right, currency, mysterious womb. So maybe we unlock and it opens up graphs, new skills. Oh, bloodline class. Okay, this is what we want. 3 Uber bosses. Okay, new trade system. Oh, it's gonna be the same thing as PoE 2. You know, it's crazy how, like, basically PoE 2 is getting PoE 1 stuff and PoE 1 is getting PoE 2 stuff eventually. But so far, it looks interesting. Okay, we have, like, the date again. So it's 12 p.m. 31st. All right. But let's see the in-depth sort of things over here.
Now, as you can see, this expansion is a true sequel to the Breach League, first introduced to the game in 2016. We felt like it was time to progress the story of Breach, bringing with it a slew of new updates to the base game. In today's stream, we'll take you on a deep dive into Path of Exile, Keepers of the Flame, beginning with the League mechanic, covering all the fearsome challenges it presents, and the new twisted ways you'll be able to empower your character. After that, we'll dive into the new Ascendancy options possible
10
with Bloodline classes.
Oh.
Then we'll cover the much anticipated and synchronous trade system coming to Path of Exile 1.
Yeah, I
Afterwards,
like
we'll
that
move
on
to the new
PoE 2,
Uber
man.
pinnacle
It's such a
bosses,
good,
how to
awesome
access
addition.
them, and some new drops worthy of the added difficulty.
Oh,
Finally, we'll
worthy.
cover some notable quality of
Not
life
gonna be worth
improvements
one
before moving on to our
chaos.
supporter packs and challenge rewards.
Okay.
We'll then have a live Q&A session where Ziggy D will ask Path of Exile's game directors Mark and myself your questions from Twitch chat. And after the live stream, we'll drop the full patch notes at 11 a.m. New Zealand time or 3 p.m. Pacific. So let's get started. I'll hand things over to Mark to introduce the new league.
Hi, I'm Mark Roberts, Game Director on Path of Exile. Breach is a beloved league that has had an iconic history in PoE. We intend to honor that legacy with our first ever sequel league, Keepers of the Flame. This develops every aspect of Breach, adding new layers to discover, richer lore, scarier bosses, and entirely new mechanics. That said, this is still Breach, so you will still be opening breaches and slaying hordes of otherworldly monsters. The Breach Lords have found the means to stabilize the connection between their realm and Rayclast. Now, with their grip tightening, we learn their true goal in our world, conquest. The threat they pose has now escalated to home soil. On the coast in Act 1, you'll encounter Aelith, the founder of the Keepers of the Flame. This is a monastic order sworn to defend Rayclast from the Breach Lords. The exit to the Mudflats has been barricaded by Hiveborn, Breach monsters that are working to claim every inch of Rayclast.
So we can do this at, like,
Aelith
the start.
can grant you a small spark of the power of the Flame,
Oh, okay,
allowing you to
cool.
blast away their barricade and move onwards. Once you enter the Mudflats, you'll find it infested with Breach monsters. They appear to be constructing a kind of hive, creating strange
Alteration.
shapes and structures that absolutely
I
don't
wish we
belong.
had those in PoE 2, man.
Time to purge them with fire. Aelith needs you to protect her as she empowers the flame to do so.
Okay, so you kill waves of
Hold off
monsters.
the assault long enough, and she'll be able to demolish the hive with cleansing flame.
Graft blood. So we
In
have a new
other
currency?
areas, the gap between worlds is strained. Here, you'll find a more familiar encounter with a new twist. A massive breach hand sunders the space between dimensions, and touching it will open an unstable breach, causing monsters
Oh, so they're
to
called
flood in.
unstable breaches.
If you can slaughter them quickly enough, you can stabilize the breach. This brazen action can draw the attention of Vroon, Marshal of Zesht, who will do everything it can to stop you.
So it's like another new
Defeating
boss?
this boss will permanently seal the breach, severing another connection between the Breachlord's world and Rayclast. These stabilized breaches are similar to what a breach once was, but with upgraded monsters, a success condition to shoot for, UI tracking to keep the player informed of their progress through the encounter, and satisfying feedback when you do manage to complete the encounter. We've taken all the lessons we've learned since the release of Breach 9 years ago and improved upon it in every way we can. However,
The loot drops
much
at the
of
end?
the joy of Breach came from its simplicity. While we want to modernize the mechanic, we don't want to undermine the core experience. You're still mostly just slaughtering hordes of enemies in a circle. Finally, in endgame areas you might run into breach constructions that have been left unopposed for too long, and have grown into their full twisted glory. Breach hives. Towering flesh-crafted cities in the sky. These are the visions of the Breach Lords made real in Rayclast, teeming with breach monsters. You must raid and destroy these cities with the help of Aelith and her flame. In some of these hives, you may even encounter some of the Breach Lords themselves, who will not be happy you're intruding on their planned conquest. Now, let's talk
What is like laser things
Of
that are going
course,
through the character
being in
though?
exile is hard work, and you're unlikely to help entirely out of the goodness of your heart. Fortunately, Aelith has power and rewards aplenty, born of the Breach Realm itself, to offer you for your assistance. Help her, and she'll bring you to the Monastery of the Keepers, the hallowed halls of her order. Here, you'll find the Genesis Tree, the growing heart of the Keeper's power. On interacting with it, you'll find that this tree
Oh,
is
let's
a
go.
tree. That's right. It
Okay, so
couldn't
we
be
have,
Path of
Graph
Exile
Blood
unless
over
the
here.
tree also had a tree. More importantly, the Genesis tree is an engine of unholy creation, and a profitable
So it
one.
looks like we can socket stuff in
As
there.
you
You
complete
put like
breach
weapons in
encounters
there.
and work more with Aelith, you'll be able to grow the Genesis tree larger and larger,
That's cool.
sprouting additional limbs. Each of these limbs, you'll notice, has their own inventories. These can be used for an unusual method
So you can
of
like
crafting new
incubate some
items.
item and maybe to mod
With
it.
this system, you'll be able to grow currency, uniques,
Oh.
equipment, and a new kind of otherworldly item.
That's a cool concept. I
Grafts.
like this. This is really awesome.
Grafts are breach hands grown directly from the Genesis tree, born of the same flesh and sinew as the invading monsters.
It's like attached to your
These
character.
fuse directly to your body, in a completely safe process. Don't worry about it. With grafts, you can harness the power of the breach. Some provide passive benefits like this.
Okay, so
This-
let me pause this. So it says uses level 15 wreathed in light. I don't know what that is, but it's a small like damage bonus. And I'm assuming you can only get one of these, but who knows? Maybe you can get attach multiple
They can
arms
also
too.
grant a wide selection of powerful skills.
Oh, these are new
These graft
skills.
skills can provide a flexible way to fill gaps in your build, offering everything from damage to potent defensive buffs and
So
crowd
to make sure
control.
it's max res.
For example, the battering all graft will call massive arms to erupt from the earth, stunning all those
Okay, so
they hit.
let me check this out 1 second. So its cooldown is 10 seconds, and it does like some damage. I don't for level 28. That's probably pretty good. It stuns enemies. Okay, so how does it activate? This graph will periodically target rare or unique enemies in range. So as long as I don't have to like do anything, so it adds on to your character already is like, you know, obviously killing stuff. And then when there's an elite, right, or what they call it, rare monster, rare or unique enemies that'll just activate. I think that's going to be kind of fun. It's like an additional like skill that's like on auto cast, right?
For some additional pack clearing power, you could consider the Squalling Tool Graft.
I like the idea.
When commanded, this graft will cast Dance in the White, creating a deadly ice tornado, which aggressively seeks enemies and fires off bursts of ricocheting projectiles when you critically strike with skills.
Oh, so
For
some have
further
interactions
utility
when you do
and a
X,
useful
Y, or
buff,
Z.
Try out the Storming Ash Graft. This can be commanded to call down a ring of bolts from the sky that will leave behind the new Radiant Ground.
Now, can we like
Radiant
socket
Ground
those
grants
skills?
a potent damage buff to allies standing within it and makes their hit damage lucky.
Oh, lucky is pretty good. That means it rolls 2 times and takes
If
the
you're
best
simply
result.
after
So
raw
good for lightning damage.
Look no further than the Erupting Zoff Graft, which causes massive eruptions of fire where you command, which then re-erupt when you war cry.
So some of them are
There a
like
total of
attacks or
16
they're used
different
with
graft
bows
types you
and
can
stuff.
grow, each with their own
Which,
skill.
wait, did he say 16?
You can even up 16 different graft re-erupt when you war cry.
I got it.
There are a total of 16
Yeah,
different
16,
graft types
okay.
you can grow, each with their own skill. You can even unlock a second graft slot as you progress through Aelith's quest line.
That's cool. So you can have
feel free
2.
to mix and match Flesh Zone horrors to your heart's content.
That's cool because now you have like maybe some
Now,
synergy with one.
grafts aren't just here to make you stronger. They are also your means of feeding the Genesis tree, which needs constant supplies of graft blood to grow anything useful. You can do this by defeating breach monsters, which will leave behind blood that your graft
At the very
will
end
automatically
too.
collect.
Oh, okay. Auto collect. Thank you.
When you feed this blood to
Click
the
off.
tree, your allocated passives will be put to work. This section of the Genesis tree can be used to grow new grafts.
Okay, what
for
is?
you,
Oh, wait,
which
hold
the-
on. That's too fast. What is that?
This section of the Genesis tree can be used to grow
So
new
what was that thing? It says can grow into a graft item on the Genesis tree. Okay.
grafts for you, which the Genesis tree will then
Will consume. Okay.
birth in a gruesome display.
Oh, okay.
Basic passives on the tree might increase item rarity of birthed grafts, or the chance to birth additional grafts. These passives can target specific types of grafts.
Okay, so more than likely we're gonna have to go to a
and this
website to find
passive
out
causes
all
grafts to be
the
birthed with a random amount of quality.
best
Quality
like
improves
possibilities.
the amount of blood that can be stored by your grafts. This section of the Genesis tree births currency items. Basic passives can result in more or better currency. Allocate this passive to sometimes cause a shower of currency to burst forth from the flesh of the tree. Yeah, it's a bit gross, but working with the organic matter of a bunch of dead otherworldly
Oh, there's
creatures
something new.
is never
Foulborn?
going to be a clean affair.
Unstable implants. So there's
Grafts
new
themselves
currencies.
are born of a different world, so are unmodifiable by most currencies.
Ah, okay.
However,
Wait,
with
are
this
they
passive,
tradable,
the
though?
Genesis tree can occasionally grow fleshy mockeries of currency orbs. These function like augmentation orbs, regal orbs, or exalted orbs, but they work on your grafts instead of normal gear.
Okay, that's
Yep,
cool.
it's graft crafting.
Ah.
Allocating this passive can result in foul-born currencies.
I mean, I like this idea of
This
having these
foul-born
auto
exalted orb,
skills.
for instance, behaves as a normal exalted orb, except it guarantees a higher tier modifier.
Oh, so like a
By
greater
knocking out
exalted
a
orb?
large portion of the lower rolls, a normal exalted orb would be able to hit.
Okay. I think that's cool.
The largest section of the
It's like what
Genesis
PoE2
tree is
added.
used to grow rare equipment items. For these, you have a lot of agency to influence the type and modifiers on your grown item. For example, you can specifically target boots with a dexterity requirement, with an increased chance for speed modifiers.
I think I should just
and reduced
guarantee
chance
the
for cold
speed.
modifiers.
Okay.
Or maybe you'd prefer to look for a two-handed axe with increased chance for physical modifiers.
Okay. So you have a
This
little bit
section of the tree is for growing unique items.
of ways to control it.
Similar to the equipment section, there are passives that let you target growing specific types of uniques or rarer uniques.
You already know
Growth
it's
is
gonna
not
be.
always a perfect one, however, and can result in some
It's gonna be some trash.
defects. This passive can result in birth uniques becoming foulborn, which mutates one of the existing modifiers on the item into a new one, resulting in some interesting new ways to use that unique. For example,
Oh, okay, this is...
Foulborn Quill Rain no longer has increased projectile speed, but instead has increased area of effect.
Oh, okay. I like
Another
this.
Foulborn Quill Rain could replace the mana gained on hit with the much more powerful modifier where insufficient mana doesn't prevent your bow attacks. Here are some other examples.
Okay, what do we got? Damage, elemental overload,
This
and
passive
chaos res.
even gives a rare chance for Foulborn uniques to have multiple different modifiers
Oh,
mutated.
wow. So
I'm
does it
sure
remove?
You'll come up with some extremely powerful uses for these.
So I think it removes one and replaces one. It's not just like a
We'll leave
free
it up to
extra
you
mod.
to discover what this mysterious
I
part
like
of the
this.
Genesis tree
See,
can grow.
I like Path of Exile because sometimes
So,
they just tell you.
ultimately,
You find out,
you'll
man.
be slaying masses of breach monsters, harvesting blood with the aid of your grafts, feeding that to the Genesis tree, growing some items and better grafts, and back again to the
Like the one
sword.
unique that I definitely want to try out and
As
mess around with
with
is
all our challenge
Ascendancies,
leagues,
which is
this
the helmet
league
that
will
lets
come
you
with a set of
activate a
40
spell.
challenges to pursue.
So you
And
just do lightning
completing
warp
them
on
will
it.
Reward you with the Keeper of the Flame armor
Okay, so
set,
just like the
allowing
cosmetics
you
now.
to truly embrace
Oh no, we got
becoming a
more.
monk
We got the
and
classes.
worshipping the dreamer.
All right, it's looking good though, boys.
Now, graph skills won't be the only new tools to play with. In 327, we're also adding a collection of new skill and
So we have these
support gems.
new skill
Let's go over
arms,
them now.
and we get new skills and support gems.
Kinetic Rain is a new wand attack, which covers the ground in unstable kinetic energy. These hazards collapse at the slightest
It drops
touch,
like a orb after
releasing
too.
the energies into any unfortunate soul who happens to be standing on them. With enough projectiles and area of effect, an enterprising exile could carpet the world
Yeah,
in
just some
dangerous kinetic force.
Nice little overlaps, man.
Wall
Looks
of
good for
Force creates a
bossing.
barrier of kinetic power, causing allied projectiles to ricochet towards targets automatically. Drop one behind a boss and redirect the bolts of your armies. I'm sure you'll find ways to break this one. Conflagration is a new bow attack which rains down fiery bolts from above that stick into the ground and pulse as you approach. Once you get close enough, these bolts detonate,
Do you have to
causing
walk over
ravaging
them?
ignites.
So you have to shoot
These
and then
bolts
walk over.
chain react, allowing you to create fields of incendiary destruction.
I guess for setting up for bossing, this could be pretty good.
Thunderstorm is a
to
bow
overlap.
attack, which creates a whirling storm
Oh.
of wind and lightning where it lands.
That looks awesome.
While you're within the storm, it will rapidly grow until it becomes violently thunderous with lightning-infused clouds.
I like how it looks, but like for
At this
efficiency, I'm
point,
just looking at
leaving
like
the storm will cause it to detonate,
lightning arrow or
dealing
ice shot
damage to
still.
everything within and releasing a flurry of tornadoes in all directions.
Because a lot of these projectiles you couldn't use Nimbus
Attacking
Ring, right?
with kinetic fusillade will create hovering orbs of energy.
Like with that,
These
well,
linger
the bow
for a
skills
few
it
moments
is.
above you,
Because they
before
go on the
zipping off to
ground.
nearby targets, chaining between them, then detonating.
I feel like it was looking a little bit lackluster compared to the
Lightning
rest.
support will bring to life living sparks of energy, elemental minions that zap through packs of enemies with speed and ease. Use
What
these
is this thing called in
alongside
PoE2? Is it like
your
living
spellcasting
lightning or
to
something like
augment
that?
your pack clearing abilities, or find whatever means possible to cover the world in living sparks of ruin.
I mean, some of the skills visually
Burst
look
support
cool.
Unleashes chaotic
but I'll probably still
tornadoes as
go-
you attack, which ricochet
Ooh.
around wildly
Wait,
and
wait.
quickly.
Wait, what was this skill?
Chaotic tornadoes, arcs of ruin. Wind burst support
Wind
unleashes
burst
chaotic
support.
tornadoes as you attack,
Ah,
which
shoots out.
ricochet around wildly and quickly.
Yeah, if we can just do this with Mana
These
Forged
deal
Arrow,
moderate
sure,
damage
it's
as they
free,
travel, but
free
will
extra damage,
explode
right?
into a highly damaging burst when they expire. So it's a choice between scaling their duration up to get better coverage, or down to access the burst more quickly.
That one might
Kinetic
have some
Instability
potential.
is a support gem to go along with the new wand attacks that causes enemies slain to leave behind those same orbs of shimmering energy that Kinetic Rain creates. One might ponder just how many orbs you can create if you were to use both. In 327, exiles will be able to absorb the
Ooh.
power of some of the bosses they defeat.
Yes.
These take the form of new Ascendancy class options, called Bloodlines. Bloodline classes are a new means of character customization in the endgame. They are secondary Ascendancy classes that are unlocked by defeating specific endgame bosses. They are allocated with your normal Ascendancy points, and you'll have to choose how many of your points go into the original Ascendancy and how many into your Bloodline class.
Oh, so you can...
This means there is a nigh limitless ability to mix and match here. As you
Nice.
can choose to invest just a couple points into your bloodline, or max it out.
Yeah,
And
I
you
want
can
to
take
max it
any
out.
bloodline with any base ascendancy class that you see fit.
So can you take basically
Unlock
two
your
ascendancies,
bloodline,
or what?
Hunt down the endgame boss whose power you desire, and defeat them. Or
Oh, so you have to
a
def-
friend help
Oh, yeah,
and
help.
claim the power for your own.
Ooh, okay, dude. 9. Like, what did they?
There are 10
10?
bloodline classes to discover.
Oh, it's
Bosses
awesome,
who
man.
offer this power are typically associated with past leagues, giving additional reasons to engage with
Looks
that
cool,
league
man.
content. Let's run over a few examples.
Okay, yes, let's see
The
him.
Chaos Bloodline will be offered to you by the Trial Master, if you manage to succeed his final challenge. With his blessing, you can greatly augment your vow skills in different ways. Priest of Yaumak lets you use vow skills much more often, while Priest of Kopek makes it harder to build up vow skills, but makes them far more powerful. Or take Corruption's Embrace, which grants more vow keystone powers the more corrupted items you have equipped. The Ashabi bloodline can be gained by, you guessed it, defeating Ashabi. Her abilities are drawn from the 3 types of life force that manifest within as Marian spirits. The Wild Bear rewards you with adrenaline for generating rage. The Vivid Cat gives your elusive buffs a chance to refresh, as well as making you more stealthy while elusive. The Primal Owl allows your unleashed spells to reoccur many additional times, and get stronger for each time they reoccur.
That's cool.
The Nameless bloodline comes from the King in the Mists. Be forewarned, his menacing power comes at a great cost. With the Unseen Hand, you can equip a
That's
third ring,
huge.
but you'll have to decide if that comes at the expense of having no amulet,
Ooh.
no belt, or no flasks.
Oh, I don't know.
Unlike
It's too much of a
Select,
cost,
it's a
man. I don't
hefty
know.
life cost to all your spells, but they deal additional chaos damage based on the amount of life spent.
That's cool too. I like these
Of
like
course,
build
there is more
defining.
to come. What powers might you
things,
glean
man.
from delving deep underneath Rayclass to fight all
Out of
the
that
Crystal King?
10 new classes,
What secrets can you
Ascendancies,
learn
right?
from Lycia, Herald of the Scourge, waiting at the end of the Forbidden Sanctum? As you can imagine, there are countless possible combinations with the system.
And I like how you can run
be a
your
Slayer
Ascendancy
that
plus
embraces
have that.
corruption and vile power.
That's really
Or
cool.
perhaps you'll play an occultist that doubles down on their dark power by integrating the Nameless bloodline. We are excited to see what crazy and interesting builds players come up with. In the most recent Path of Exile 2 expansion, the Third Edict, we introduced a much anticipated feature, fully asynchronous trade. It was a fantastic success.
Yeah, dude, I loved it, dude.
now
It was so
we're
good to
excited
log back
announce
in.
That we'll also be adding this feature into Path of
Nice.
Exile 1.
Like you go to sleep, you wake up, and you're like,
When
oh
you
man, I
reach
got a
Act
lot of
6,
currency.
You'll be able to find Faustus.
You
in
said Act
Lionized
6?
Watch.
Yeah, okay.
Previously, he just operated the currency exchange. Now, he will also act as a steward for your merchants tabs. These are where you can place items for sale, for direct and instant purchase by other players, even when you're not online. To list an item, simply place it in the tab and select a currency and an amount. Once
good
listed,
ring.
other players will be able to find the item by searching for it via the trade website
Oh, it's literally the same thing. Do
or
we,
the
do we need to
new
watch
in-game
this?
market search.
All right, let's watch it just
To
in case there's
purchase something
anything
for
new.
yourself, it's as easy as hitting this button, which
Oh,
will
it's-
teleport you to
okay,
the
so
seller's
it's literally
hideout,
the same thing
where
as
you can view
PoE2.
their merchants tabs.
But this
buy
is
the
a
item,
good
and
thing.
also view
Oh,
the
it
rest
costs
of their wares
gold.
in case something else catches
I'll be honest, I
your
don't
eye.
really like that it costs gold.
Every purchase costs a small fee of gold, as Faustus takes his cut. To account for this further drain on gold, acquisition and cost balance elsewhere in the game has been adjusted. Anything you've managed to sell successfully will have your profits collected here, in a separate tab to claim at your leisure. To be clear, previous means of trading, such as via pre-existing premium stash tabs and the website, will still function just as before. Merchants tabs
Buy div
and
1 to
the
500.
asynchronous trading that comes with them are an entirely additive feature on top of the already existing methods to trade.
Yeah, I like how they just let you do what you want to do with the trade.
You might
That's-
find
I just
yourself
wish
needing
Diablo
the
had
trade
that,
system
man.
to buy some upgrades, because this update
Oh,
also
the-
introduces 3 new Uber
Yeah,
Pinnacle boss
3 new
fights.
bosses, and they said they're worth doing,
These
so there's going to be
encounters
some
are
good
manifested
rewards.
from the memories of Zana, and in her long torment, they have festered into something truly deadly. These fights offer an imposing challenge, alongside powerful rewards. In order to gain access, similar to existing Uber Pinnacle fights, you'll need to discover fragments dropped by Tier 17 map bosses. Each attempt at the new Uber Pinnacle fights will require 5 of these. Let's dig into some of the challenges you'll need to face in these new Uber versions. In the original incarnation of Neglect fight, the statues can be used to block the laser beams to hide behind, giving you an opportunity to avoid being shocked, frozen, or killed. When you run near these statues, they activate and allow you to reposition them. While activated, they will not stop the lasers, meaning you want to position them well, then avoid them. However, in the Uber version of this fight, instead of being a safe haven, the statues will refract the laser beams, causing a ruckus of energy to cover the arena. Activating them will prevent the refraction, so unlike the base fight, where you want to position them well and then avoid them, you'll be wanting to constantly keep these statues active. But then, you have to deal with their assault.
Okay, this looks absolutely crazy for difficulty, but
while fighting the incarnation of fear,
I respect anyone that can do it though, for sure.
Clutter up the arena, locking off portions of it until you bait the boss into detonating them himself with his thrown spear. When Uberified, these orbs are attached by a flaming leash to the boss,
Uberified,
rotating around him constantly. More and more will spawn as the fight goes on.
I still think this
is more imperative that you clean them up.
Still easier than the Maven memory game, though. But that's kind of cool, though, that they're adding these really crazy boss fights.
During the bullet hell phase, you have to acquire a red rose, run it to the boss, then collect a blue rose, doing the same, causing it to get heavy stunned and interrupting its mechanic. In the Uber version, you have to do the same. But in order to get the blue rose, you have to defeat the incarnation of Neglect. And to get the red rose, you have to defeat the incarnation of Fear. Good luck.
Fight
the
2 extra
of
bosses.
Their reward should be worth your while.
Okay, yeah. What is the reward? Is there new stuff too, or is it just like
From
more?
From the Uber incarnation of Neglect fight, we have Bitter Instinct. A spiky shield that turns retaliatory strikes into preemptive ones, making it just a matter of time before the long arm of justice crushes your foes. Alternatively, you might find Festering Resentment, a poisoned blade with an unending supply of toxins built into the hilt. These toxins are put to good use, causing every spell you trigger to be capable of poisoning with all damage it deals, enabling a truly crazy trigger-centric.
That might actually be really good, because in PoE 1 you can have infinite stacks of poison,
the Uber incarnation of Dread, the Hallowed Monarch, a counterpart to the Dark Monarch, which focuses more heavily on investing into one or a few minions, rather than growing your hordes to massive proportions.
So it's like Headhunter for your minions. That's cool.
Storm Rayclast, with your
that's what the little like
side,
laser was
earlier.
earlier.
Enemies as you go.
It's just it's a link.
We've got a number of quality of life changes to bring to 327 as well. Many of which you may have seen already in some of our pre-livestream teasers, but for those who haven't, Heist is a mechanic which has long frustrated some players who may otherwise have been interested in the rewards it has to offer, but have no desire to grind through the early progress of finding and
then you have to
and
then you have to level up all of
level.
Yes.
Well,
that's very good.
Starting in 327,
is it
Heist
permanent?
rogues will automatically begin at maximum level, so you can start your dubious criminal career without all the busy work.
Cool.
Points invested into your Atlas passive tree will now be refundable with gold. Just speak to Kerak to do so.
Yeah, instead of the orb of what unmaking, right?
For players who love jumping between strategies, there's also an option to instantly refund your entire tree, which of course can now also be done with your regular passive tree as well. Now you can make all your decisions with no regrets. Well, maybe some regrets. You no longer need to purchase bestiary orbs. You can now itemize beasts for free directly from your bestiary. From late Act 1, you can now mass identify your items at an NPC in every town. And from Helena in your
so it's free
this
too?
does not require Scrolls of Wisdom at all.
That's an awesome change for
While
early
using
level.
an alteration orb, you can now hold Alt to swap to using an augmentation orb, if one is available. Opening a blight chest will now open all other blight chests near it.
That's very nice quality of life.
Rogues disenchanting services can now be accessed from towns and hideouts. Kerak missions now have a handy icon to show at a glance what kind of mission they are.
That's very nice too,
Holding
man.
down Control and right-clicking on stacked decks will now continuously open them to your inventory,
Then you'll
notifying
get
you
the,
in chat what the outcome is.
Oh, I guess you can
If
see
you
on the left
still want
side,
to
but
open them direct to the
I want to
ground
see the thing.
to let your loot filter
Yes.
provide a dose of dopamine, you can still do that too by also holding Shift.
Oh, that's so much faster. Oh, that's really great.
Val orbs can be used on monsters encased in essences, to the same effect that remnants of corruption have.
Okay, awesome. So far, there's not one
When
bad thing in
multiple
this
skill
like
gems are ready to
update.
level at the same time,
Oh.
you'll now be able to click this button
Hey,
to
I like
level them
that.
all up at once.
That's another really good addition to the game, man.
Next up, we're going to be talking about our new League supporter packs.
All right, we go check them out.
Today,
Let's
we're
go see 'em.
launching 2 new series of supporter packs. The Champion of Theopolis and the Verdant Magus packs. Each tier contains the pack's full face value in points, alongside several exclusive microtransactions. As always, the microtransactions in these packs are purely cosmetic and do not affect your character's power or progression in any way. The Champion of Theopolis series of supporter packs contains 6 exclusive microtransactions.
The bold thing is that when you use a Quicksilver flask,
Manifest a champion's ferocity, as the Lion's Might unique finisher effect rips your enemies to shreds.
that's pretty cool.
Open the Champion of Theopolis portal
disintegrates?
to end your crusade through maps in the style expected of a true victor of the arena. Defeat your enemies like a true gladiator, wearing the Grand Champion of Theopolis armor set. The armor awarded only to the most elite warriors of the Grand Arena. Take charge of the situation.
All right, let's
and
fast
storm
forward. I
into
want to see
combat
the
with
other one.
Carries all the supply
I just want to see the.
distance updated to have the
I just want to see the other skins.
maps. Each flame surrounding the platform represents a remaining armor
Alright.
set.
Oh, so that's
The
that one,
armor
okay.
awarded only to the most elite warriors of the Grand Arena. Rises up to all maps. Each
Oh, is
flame
this,
surrounding the platform represents a remaining use on your portal. The Burden-back Belly Goat carries all the supplies necessary.
Okay, this is
for
still
a
part of the
camp's
first one,
camp,
I think,
With
right?
Mega series can.
Yeah, okay, I want to see this. Okay. Wow. Okay, so we got like a jungle theme over there.
Having Faustus sell your items on your behalf is great and all, but sometimes you just want to feel a little bit more shady about your dealings. The back alley trader hideout decoration is more secretive with your trades, creating distance between you and your customers. Note that until 327 is
That's
released,
kinda funny.
this back alley trader will only serve as your currency exchange. Once it's out, it will be updated to have the new managed shop option to also facilitate your trades.
Okay, so these are just like skins and stuff at
Effective
the very
arcane
end over here.
of those who have not.
All right, so the real question is,
Additionally,
what
any
builds?
microtransaction-
What builds do you guys plan to play on the new Keepers of the Flame? I'll be real. I'll probably just end up playing Lightning Arrow, Ice Shot. Like it's just looking at the skills. Do they have a okay? Like going back to looking at the new skills. I always at least like to try the new skills, so I'm 100% gonna try them. But just keeping things real, I just feel like a lot of these skills, like you activate them, right? And then something comes down and attacks, which is like, there's just like a delay on them. They could still be good. I still think this is probably good for bossing and stuff because of the overlap. However, when you look at like good builds, a lot of times people want to go as fast as possible, right? They want to teleport across the screen. I get that. So this one might have some potential where it just is able to like build like a wall and then it bounces. I think this one actually probably has a lot of potential as well. This one over here, where you're shooting down, it's basically like, I don't know, a rain of arrows, or some games call it something else. Basically, you're shooting up and then it comes down. There's just a delay in between, and I feel like a lot of people just don't like that in general. This skill looks really cool with all the tornadoes and stuff, but like if I'm fighting a boss and the tornadoes go in the opposite direction, unless the arena is really enclosed, maybe you can make a really cool boss build for this if there's like a lot of enclosed arenas and those tornadoes can just hit multiple times, which could be good. But just in general for a clear speed, like looking at how slow this thing is compared to just like running any sort of thing with like a Herald of Ice explosions, it just looks very, very slow. But who knows, maybe someone will figure out some cool combos. And remember, we also have those like hands, I forgot what they're called, but like those new graphs, is that what they're called? Where you're able to basically have the additional, where do they show that off? It's somewhere around over here where we get these items. Yeah, these new graphs. Yeah, this is a really cool system. I'm actually really excited to see if we can make these graphs apply, let's say, like exposure or activate other things for our skills. But they might be good enough to be used on their own, but some of these may have some like cooldown. There was one where like it had a cooldown of was like every 10 seconds. And at that point, you can't make a build that just uses that. But who knows? Maybe there will be certain like other ways we can make it so it's our main skill. But overall, I would say the entire presentation was really cool. There's not one bad thing in there. And so I'm really excited to at least check it out. And they also said there's new bosses. Whenever they add new bosses to any game, I want to defeat the new boss because that gives you some sort of long-term goal. And there's also interesting things that they didn't reveal everything with. And obviously with the uniques, you can get these other modifiers, which we'll go check out on like PoEDB eventually, and we'll see what there is. But anyways, yeah, I'm really excited about it. Let me know your thoughts down below as far as what class you plan to play. I'm probably just going to end up going Deadeye like I do pretty much every league because it's one of the best league starters, and also it's relatively safe as far as it goes. Well, obviously we have to wait and see what the difficulty of the bosses are. But some of the other skills that they showed off look actually pretty good for bossing, but just for generic clear speed, I think we're going to stay to the stuff that we know works. Anyways, that's going to wrap it up. That's my thoughts on it. Let me know yours down below. But yeah, the Battlefield Exile is definitely looking pretty awesome. Anyways, take care, gamers. I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.